KK, on the back here, lives in the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou. She's an only child, and her parents work long hours. Her favorite game is solitaire. Erdo lives in one of the world's most difficult environments. Born into a nomadic herding tribe in northern Kenya, he has 18 brothers and sisters. We have been filming Erdo and KK since 1992. That year, nearly every world leader came to Rio de Janiero for the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, the Earth Summit, which was designed to help protect the world environment from continuing destruction. The world's leaders agreed we should no longer take the environment for granted. They made promises to help safeguard it for future generations. Since then, we followed the lives of 10 children to see the effect of the changing state of our planet and how the promises made in Rio have affected them. This film focuses on just 2 of those children, KK and Erdo. Erdo was born in northern Kenya to Esther and Christopher. They're nomadic herders of the Turkana tribe. The Turkana way of life has changed little in thousands of years, with everything centering on cattle, which are moved to wherever the best grass is to be found. But Erdo was born into a changing world.
Lakini hata takona ngide khade ngi yetu ebidi ko ngana mamunelo ana manye yanglo.
Even then, Esther was feeling the pressures of population growth and its effect on her environment. Her husband noted climate changes and its effects.
La Louisiana ko fana na che atigelo barne ataramu jige ala pa bu atigela buanga rupialo che atoltona ba to ko mat ka pa kana ko fane yang barne ulu ataram ko kineni jige pa ka panwari jige awi.
Erdo's father Christopher has 2 wives. Between them they've given birth to 19 children. Soon after he was born, Erdo's family fled for their lives when raiders from a rival tribe sacked their village. They stole the cattle and killed an uncle and an older brother. The attack over, they returned back to their abandoned village to salvage their possessions. For 3-month-old Erdo, this was to be the start of a life of turmoil. They spend the afternoon collecting their few belongings. The village is deserted apart from a very brave teacher who has returned alone to check on his school.
Habari mwalimu. Mzuri sana mama. Nini kibaya kinatoa vitabu nje? Ni wizi umefanyika hapa nyumbani unaona. Hata hapa ndani vitabu vile vinatambaa.
Esther herself had been learning to read and write in the school.
Sasa vitabu tulinunua na makaa na vitu vingine kidogo tutapata pesa ya kununua wapi tena? Nashangaa sana na kuona vitu ya watoto. Sijui kama mwaka hii watoto wetu watasoma.
Wacha mama.
With most of their cattle stolen, Erdo's family resort to the only way left to feed their children. They cut down the few remaining trees to make charcoal to sell in the nearest town. We returned to look for them 2 years later. Heavily armed cattle raiders were nearby. We found Erdo's family had moved back to their home in an area called Shumvieri. Erdo is now 2 years old. Despite the danger, the family are happy to be back. The drought had continued in northern Kenya. Last year, this stream had dried up completely. But Esther fears the traditional herding life no longer has a future, and relations with her husband have deteriorated. She's pregnant again, but against her will.
Itu kalau bala reakan kenya tak ngishede lakini anamuri angiturukana ama lokimila angiturukana e balang bare lukolo potorio lukolo ku potorio e uriete na ukapokon lakini nyoni rata kintorio lu au kanga tauriata gitu kona yang beyere kaneke mbaga gederi to kono
ngi bonare keskara kam seta terki ala kun lo deke itnyene char ko lakini ne arbo gwagan lo jawte lo sebentar ara chan lo tingi ate gala tan ngi dawalo ko ministeri ama yoko aya tu lo sebentar to bung tu sa lo bunawi
ne wa that te yaro skur ne wa sa ko sababu ngida to kana lo kol kalo ngida kan ka.
Despite his parents' wishes, the danger of violence means Erdo's future may well be in the hands of others. That evening, we heard gunshots ring out in the darkness. By now, Erdo was 4, and he had another brother.
Sabi tiya taon niya tanong po chili na to kana iyan ako kiyan ko ang kaabuli na kere la po takar tadakar na dakano ko tere abuli ni sukul.
From the day he was born, Erdo's new brother has been chronically sick. To make matters worse, the continuing drought has forced elephants out of a nearby wildlife reserve in search of food.
Arai ngatu ka tenangan riam taparachu. Ane ngariam taparachu, ane nanga to mama na, todolo ko tamal to mama na. Ane pudor te ngatu ku, yo pudor te ritune te ngatamel to mama na, ane nanga te lo na kwa ane ku dori.
Esther now spends much of her time making charcoal to sell in the nearest town for medicines for her sick child. It takes a full day for Erdo and his mother to make the 30-kilometer round trip to town to sell the charcoal. Esther knows she and her neighbors are turning the bush into desert, but for her it's a simple choice. In 1998, the bandits had finally won the day and forced the family to move on. Erdo's mother was building a new house. The land here was poor and difficult to live on, but at least it was considered to be safe. Esther was more than ever convinced the old herding way of life no longer had a future. There had been another big change in her life. Erdo's father had temporarily left and moved in with his first wife some distance away. Two years later, the picture of Erdo's life had changed yet again. He was living not with his mother nor his father, but with his father's first wife. Erdo's father, Christopher, and some other tribesmen are still clinging to the herding way of life. They have sold cattle to buy guns and pooled their remaining animals into a single herd in order to protect them. Esther has decided she wants a different future for Erdo and her other children. She's left Christopher to farm a small plot of land lent to her by a relative not far from the town of Visiolo. But Erdo is not living with his mum. Esther wants Erdo to move here, but first she has to save up to buy a desk, a requirement to send him to the nearby school. In the meantime, Erdo stays with his father's first wife, whose house is within access of a Korean-run missionary school. When we found Erdo, he was much more withdrawn and didn't speak to us while we were with him. He's up very early. The Korean missionary school he attends is several kilometers away. It's a long walk. Erdo clearly enjoys the first lesson of the day, music. While the children sing, the school cook prepares the free school lunch, one of the big attractions of the school. Erdo is now studying maths, just like, as we shall see in a moment, his Chinese counterpart KK, who is thousands of kilometers and a continent away. Erdo doesn't find maths easy, but the free meal helps. Many of the school children here are frequently hungry, and it puts Erdo in good heart for the long trip home. Erdo's mother, Esther, has decided education is the key to breaking the cycle of events of the last few years. For the time being, separation from her son is the price she pays for his education. KK was born in one of the world's fastest-growing cities, the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou. We also started filming KK when she was born in 1992, the year of the Rio Earth Summit. KK is the only child her parents Liang and Chung will be allowed to have under Chinese law.
Having our little family, husband, wife and baby, that's the best. The most ideal. Now we've got our baby, we are really happy.
KK's father Liang works in a paper mill. Much of the equipment here dates from the 1930s and pollution levels are high. China burns more coal than any other country.
All industry in every country pollutes. But our industry first has to grow and get strong. That's when we will be able to worry about pollution control.
The Rio summit was supposed to help show the way for countries such as China to develop in less damaging ways. KK and her generation, living in China's polluted cities, are 6 times more likely to die early of lung cancer than those in the cleaner air of the countryside. China's race to industrialize has transformed the lives of those living in her major cities.
你好，我係細細仔仔，身體以後有長頭髮，隻高踭鞋，隻老枝。
Having just one child means KK's parents can spend more of their earnings on her.
很不怕，他不怕你，你就要用远的办法，用远的办法。唔撈啦，
笑下先。
你知唔知你個嘴得咁長好醜㗎？好難睇。
Pampered city children like KK are sometimes called a generation of little emperors. KK's family now have a standard of living their parents could not dream of, but the environmental cost is high. The traffic is so congested that KK's parents now have to live apart to be able to get to work. They can only manage to be together at weekends.
因为这个公路很多这个公共车啊，这个摩托车啊、单车很多，广州很人口又多，是不是？这个公路呢，现在呢就很脏啊，现在搞好这个公路呢，要么宽一点了，以后起码要安全一点了，是这样的。
The economic boom is concentrated in the cities. Since she was born, KK's parents' income has doubled. Before she's a teenager, the world's most populous nation will be well on the way to becoming the biggest consumer society on Earth. The growth of KK City, Guangzhou, continues unabated. It's now a city of 5 million people. Pollution levels are still rising. New elevated roadways and the beginning of a brand new subway system are helping people to get around town.
Motorbikes, cars, factories, they all produce fumes, and pedestrians have to put masks on to be able to breathe. Those trees, don't cut down the trees. Let those trees live and carry on growing slowly. And let those drivers in their cars not let those fumes come out.
KK and her parents have moved since we last filmed her. They're renting a flat from her mother's employers. But life in Guangzhou's booming economy means KK's parents are working such long hours, she rarely gets the chance to see them.
Sometimes we go for days without getting any rest, and then we can only have a meal together once a month. Often we can't even manage that.
KK's father is now back under the same roof because he bought a new motorbike with his increased earnings. It cuts the time to work. He starts early in the morning and usually gets home at midnight. First, he drops KK off at school. KK's school is jointly owned by a number of companies, including her mum's. The children of employees pay reduced fees. KK's mother is a truck driver. In addition to her 8-hour morning shift, she has another shift from 5 p.m. till midnight. Between, there is enough time for a short sleep and to make a meal. This is one of the rare occasions KK's family are able to eat together.
Sometimes KK can't sleep at night. She gets afraid and waits for me to come back in the early hours of the morning.
Most nights, KK is left alone. She likes to play solitaire. When we first met KK in 1992, she lived with her extended family, 4 generations living under one roof.
Living this way is progressive. I don't know about the future. It's supposed to get better, isn't it?
KK and Erdo live in vastly different worlds, but they both have fragmented families. 8 years on from the Rio Earth Summit, we are perhaps seeing a pattern emerging. Population pressure on the world's environment is increasing, and our children are feeling it.